I got a friend today. Been fighting with this. For some reason, my GoPro doesn't want to turn on today after I charged it yesterday. So I don't know what's wrong with it. So I was fiddling with the mic to reuse the iPad. So I don't know. I'm just going to do 12 minutes something or other. I got my mat. I have a band. I'm just going to do something because I'm already like a little behind schedule because I was messing around with my GoPro. So, oh, I got 14 minutes on the timer. So 14 minutes. A little water before we start. I'm going to do some rockers. I did do some crawls before I started this, and then I messed around with my GoPro, so I kind of lost my warm-up. I like to warm up with crawls, really gets the full body going. Just gonna do some nice rockers here. Toes in, heels away, pushing through the outside edge of that shin to engage the glutes. Pushing through here, think you're ripping a piece of paper apart, and push the hips to the wall behind us, keeping that everything in the front zipped up, keeping a nice arch in our lower back here. Keeping this nice arch here. We're not tucking our hips under, we're keeping them out and pushing to the wall behind us. All right, rockers again, but do a little kick out. So heels away, toes in, pressurizing through the outside edge, the shin. And as we come up, we're just gonna kick our feet away. So from behind, a little bit. So I kick them out here. So that rotation, when I do that, I kick out, comes from here, rotating my femurs in a bit from that hip socket. So we're still in that rocker position. Get my thing here. Still in that rocker position. But we're just working on finding an internal rotation a little bit as well. Glutes are already working. All right, let's load it up on one side. Find your left or right, doesn't matter. I'm gonna go to my right today. And take that, don't put as much weight on the other leg here. Need to back up a little bit. Let's just push into that one hip. It's just almost like just warming up here, just getting into my body, trying to get my head out of the fact that my camera wasn't working today. Gotta love it when things don't want to work for you. So again, we're pushing through that outside shin here, loading up that glute, keeping a nice arch, keeping everything nice and zipped up here. I'm gonna stay down so I stay in the screen here. Not sure why things don't want to cooperate with me today. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So let's find that outside blade of the other leg. Once you find it here, find it here, get that other leg, the other knee off to try and get into that. Really make sure you're loading up on that one side. I'm keeping my hand down to keep my balance here. And I really want to focus on loading up that glute without really focusing on balance. You could use a yoga block or a bench if you want to be up a little higher. I didn't bring any of that today, so I didn't set that up. So we're just rocking out that one side. Pushing through that shin, load up that glute, stay nice and strong. Excuse me. My timer's rubbing against my water. Okay, pigeon. We're gonna go back to the other side, load up that side, bring the other leg up and over. So up and over, and then we're gonna rock out. on this side. Make sure you're not tucking your pelvis too much. We don't want to tuck here. We want to keep a nice arch in our back, and we want to be loading up that glute here. So just pushing the hip to the wall behind me as I do this. Make sure you're not pinching in the front here. We don't want any pinching right there. If you need to, come up higher. I usually find in the pigeon I like to be up a little higher to do this. If I had a bench, I'd be using it. Whew. Other leg. So again, find that, load up that side here. Bring the other non-loading leg up and over. So this leg kind of comes in at a 45 here. And then we just push back, pushing through the shin here again. Just pushing to that hip behind us here. Whew. Make sure we're not coming up too high when we do this. We don't want to get into that front chain. We want to stay in the back chain here. We want to stay in the glute. Pushing through. Again, make sure you have the right height support for this. Water break. I'm going to do rocker kind of side bend. So let's pressurize our rocker. Toes in, heels away, ripping out that paper part. And just as I stay kind of up in this rocker position, I'm just going to rock side to side. So it's like my elbow is going to my back pocket. So from the side, I won't really be able to see the side bend part, but you can see I'm staying in this loaded rocker here. Everything's lit up. Everything's engaged. Gripping that paper part with my shins and just side bend. If it gets too much to be in the rocker, just bring it down a little bit and do a little bit of side bend in Seiza. Same kind of motions that we're going to do a reach with the side bend. So we're going to load up that rocker again. So as I side bend, I'm going to reach with the other arm. Now you can't see my arms because I'm not using my GoPro. It's a little bit too close. It's okay. So from the side, so a little rock with my hips back, but mostly just iso hold that rocker and side bend. Whew. Just working my glutes. Oh, that was work. Okay, I can do some stuff with my band. So, sitting in Seiza here, just gonna have it up above my head and just find the right tension I need to feel like I'm actually working my back, trying to open up the front a little bit here. So you notice as I'm sitting here, I'm still sitting with my hips tucked out. We're not tucked under, we're not slouched. We're here keeping that spinal erector muscle engaged, keeping the glutes a little bit engaged as we do this. From the front here. It's really good if you have a mirror so that you can see if you're actually pulling your arms down kind of at the same height. So you don't want to be like wonky or anything. Just really want to make sure everything's kind of symmetrical here. Normally I talk about spirals, but when it comes to this, I like to make sure both sides are doing the same range. Okay, we're just going to do the same. Sitting in Seiza. Find the right tension in your band and pull back. Again, opening up the chest, working back, keeping in a nice neutral spine. We're not slouched here. Nice and up, nice, strong back. Sitting in Seiza. If it's too much to sit in Seiza, yet for you, put a towel under here so you can stay up a little bit, because I know not everybody can get to this position. So Seiza is just heels out, toes in, and pulling sitting our sit bones kind of in between our heels. Not everybody's heels are open like that, so that's the way it goes. All right. Go down into our tummy time. I know I'm back in schedule here. Just try and do some like side bends here. Same as we did while we were in Seiza or rockers. Just gonna do a side bend. So trying to get elbow to back pocket and then to the other side. So when I bend to the side, I'm just getting my head kind of over to that left column. Not exaggerating too much, just trying to keep my chest up and getting my elbow to my butt cheek or my back pocket. Now as I do this, to make sure I'm not pushing my hips into the floor too much, I'm not pushing down, I put a little bit more pressure through the knees a little bit while I do this to try and keep space here. So here, we're gonna do that reach. So same side bend, but with a reach. So you can have your feet kind of like flat, tops of the feet on the floor, or you can tuck your toes in. You can't see that very well. Tuck your toes in, or flat, whatever works for you. But using your knees kind of pressed into the floor a little bit. Not pushing, but they're supporting so that this isn't pushed down. I'm keeping strong in my lower back. I'm not pushing my hips, my pelvis into the floor. Gonna do the band now. Here we go. Grab your band. Find your resistance you need. Still trying to keep that chest up. And we're just gonna do pull down, just like we did in Seiza, but this time in tummy time. Try and keep that chest up. Keep your head a little bit in a neutral spine. I'm trying to make sure I don't hit my hair band. Just pulling down, using my lats, my shoulders to pull the band down. Staying strong in my lower back, keeping everything engaged, nice and zipped up in the front, not dumping my pelvis and my hips into the floor, and breathing. One more. This will be the one where we pull down in front. All right, down. So you can go fast or as slow as you want with this. Find the slower you go, the more you can focus on the muscles that you're trying to engage, as opposed to just repping it out and not really focusing on your muscles. So again, make sure you're not pushing your hips down. You want to keep that nice neutral spine here. Definitely hard to keep your chest up and do this at the same time. And talk. Hopefully I didn't wreck that. If you don't have a band, you can just do these motions without a band, or with a stick, like a broomstick, a little more challenging. Broomstick is nice, or a straight bar to be able to do up and overs, to work on that shoulder rotation. If you have a bar, I don't have one here that I can find, but doing this is nice. Even with the band is nice, But with the bar, it kind of keeps you more, it keeps your arms where they need to be so that you don't kind of come in with it. Anyway, that was 14 minutes. That's all I could squeeze in today with the mess around of the mic with the GoPro. So I figure what's going on with my GoPro. Have a good Tuesday.